Okay, clear.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, kita start.
Okay, boleh?
Jiha?
Okay, boleh. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good evening to all my fellow friends and Mrs. Mariati. Before we begin our session, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is FARISYA BINTI ROSLINI and you can call me NAJEEHA. Today we have with us Mrs. Mariati Arif, the head of corporate strategy of Bernama. Hello, Mrs. Mariati, how are you today?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for the for inviting me for this session.
Okay, we would like to express our greatest gratitude for allocating some of your time to join us in this informative interview session. Now, let me introduce my fellow friends. How about we start from ALIA?
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is ANNESA binti MUZAFAR and you can just call me ALIA.
Waalaikumsalam.
Hi, and Assalamualaikum. My name is AFIQAH FARHAH. You can just call me AFIQAH.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Nurul Najwa, but you can call me Najwa.
Right.
Assalamualaikum. My name is MOHAMAD. You may call me AMMAR. Happy to have you today, man.
Thank you.
As we all know, today we'll be interviewing Mrs. Mariati regarding her views on public relations as a public relations practitioner. Before we start, Mrs. Mariati, would you like to introduce a little bit about yourself and your background?
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I would like to say thank you for inviting me for this session. We can say it's a sharing session with you, and I apologize for before this we have to reschedule our session. Even today also almost I can't make it, but I managed to make it, try my very best, and I managed to delegate to my team for some other tasks that we have to do. Okay. All right. Just a little background about myself. I'm Mariati Arif. I'm 48 years old. Very old already compared to you all. Okay. And in Bernama, actually, I started my career in Bernama in 1997. And after 11 years, my service with Bernama, I left and joined Post Malaysia in corporate communications. And 8 years in Post Malaysia, I resigned and I joined Bernama again, but not in corporate communications, but in HR. My second time I joined Bernama as HR manager, and after 2 years, then I'm back to corporate communications line field, which is my forte, because I'm graduated in Masscom in PR, and now here I am back in corporate communications field. So in Bernama 11 years, then I left and I joined again. So in total, my service in Bernama is about 15 years. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Mariati, for the brief background. Our first question is, what's a typical week like? And if there's no week that is typical, then what was last week like?
Oh, okay. My typical week okay. Here in corporate strategy, okay, okay, some of the companies they call corporate communications department. Some call strategic communication, corporate strategy, but in Bernama, corporate communications department just rebrand its name to corporate strategy instead of corporate communications previously. So my typical week, like we have, okay, in corporate strategy here, my team, we have about 14 of us, okay, and we have 3 units under corporate strategy. First, we have corporate and government relations, 1 unit. And then next, we have internal relations and events. And thirdly, we have branding and planning unit. So these 3 pillars, these 3 units under corporate strategy. So the typical week, like okay, normally first day of the week, normally what I'll do, we have meeting, what happened last week and what's going to happen for this week. So this is my routine every week, like Monday, okay, to keep the team updated on what's going on and to anticipate any ad hoc programs or activities that we need to do. So end of the week, we have another meeting also, and it depends. Like last week, actually, we have been very busy with the Misi Bantuan Banjir under the Ministry of Communication and Multimedia, where we went there, we sent a team, volunteers there. So basically, the typical week like is the routine that I always do with the team to keep them informed, to keep them always in the loop, to hold them, you know, and to give direction to them. And it's not easy because during in between, we have ad hoc programs or activities, you know, we call it here wahyu. When we receive wahyu from the minister's office, from CEO's office, we have to know to prioritize what to drop and what to do first. So that's, you know, in PR, that's what you have to be prepared.
I see. Okay. Maybe we can move on to the next question.
Okay.
Okay, Mrs. Mariati, that's very interesting sharing. I am sure that you had participated with so many events and also projects, okay, within your career in PR department. And among the project and also the events, can you share with us about the project that you're really proud of?
Okay, the project that I really proud of was the recent one, okay, last week, where we coordinate the volunteers from Bernama to go to Kuala Langat, one of the village that affected with the flood. Okay, this is very, it was very short notice, last minute task given to us. Actually, the ministry requested all the agency and department under the ministry to engage, you know, with the people who got affected by the flood. And we managed, this is a 4 days program, the Gotong Royong. And we managed to gather about 60 staff from Bernama, from various department and divisions to join and participate in the Gotong Royong there. And the best thing was that the management, the CEO also went there with the volunteers every day. And actually because it is very recent project, then I think we did well, very well, because it's not easy. We have to gather when, you know, people are still on holiday last week. We have to gather, we have our staff have to cancel their leave, their holiday. And the best thing is the management also is very happy with the coordination. And I think that's the best project end of last year. But I would like also to share with you the project that I'm very proud of, other than the one that I mentioned just now. When I joined Bernama second time in 2016, I was placed in HR department. In HR department, I have no knowledge. I know nothing about HR. But my forte, my background is in PR. So what I did was, I adapt, the staff in HR to be like, PR, because maybe, I don't know, maybe one day you will know that in other companies, people always say that HR people are always scary people, garang, fierce and whatnot. But when I was there for 2 years, I managed to change the culture, the way they talk to the staff. So they adapt to that culture, the way of communication and whatnot. And the most important thing also, I managed to create one unit, one division in HR called employee engagement. So this employee engagement, it's more like internal engagement with the staff, and it's put under HR. I set up this division, employee engagement. We do communication with staff, internal, we take care of their welfare and everything. So after 2 years, this division, because the management see that this employee engagement plays very important role in the company, in the organization. So the management decided to merge this employee engagement with corporate communications. So that's where I become the head of this new department. So this corporate strategy actually is a combination of corporate communications and employee engagement, and I lead the corporate strategy. So that's the thing that I feel so proud of my achievement. My second time I joined Bernama, I did something that very meaningful to the company and also to the department.
Yeah, it's very interesting to have a very mature relationship, especially with the internal employee, to especially for the companies, I think. So we move on to the third questions. As we know, PR practitioner, they must be always keep up to date with the current issues, especially that is related to the company. So what do you do to keep current in PR industry?
Okay. Okay, let's continue. Ways to keep me current in PR industry. Okay. Yes, as PR practitioners, we must always in the loop. We must know what's going on in the country, not only in the country but also in the organization. So what I do normally, reading news is very important. And now we have this technology, we have social media. We must always read everything just for our knowledge, for our information. And the other thing is that we must always have close contact or very good networking with other PR practitioners in other companies. And that's where you will feel that the changing of ideas, changing of ideas, where we also cooperate with government agencies and corporates. So it is an ongoing process that you cannot stay away, you cannot live away. That's the PR practitioners. You must have good communication, you have to be friendly, you know, so people will feel welcome, will feel happy to talk to us, to share. So that's why I do read PR blogs, you know, follow PR practitioners on Twitter, even though sometimes we don't even have time, but you must, sometimes I still make an effort to get to know and engage with my friends, my colleagues in other PR industries also.
Yes, true. Maintain a good relationship inside and outside of the company is very important. So I pass up to the ALIA ANNESA to further the question.
Okay, hello, Mrs. Mariati. I have been
Yes.
wondering, having a great writing skill really helps in delivering your message to the audience, especially in mass media. My question is just how important is writing skills in your line of work?
Mhm. Okay, writing is very, very important because in PR, okay, we not only must have a very good PR, how we communicate with people, how we listen, but we must also have a very good writing skills, because it's in some other companies in their PR, in their communications department, they have to also prepare a statement, media statement or press release, you know, do contents in social media and everything. So the role of PR also is to ensure the desired message reaches, you know, people in positive ways. So okay, we must have all these writing skills, and writing skills for news, for press release is different when you write content for internal communications. So we must balance and must have skills for that. There's a different skills for write press release. There's a different skills for write internal content. So it's very important. That's why I always encourage my team to write themselves, you know, bulletin. We in here in corporate strategy, actually we have a bulletin quarterly where we write on our own, okay, any activities or programs that happening, and we publish a bulletin magazine. So that's where I encourage my team to write themselves, not to ask other people to write for them. They have to have the writing skill, and practice make perfect. So we cannot say, oh, that's not my job, that's his job. No, in PR, you have to be multitask. You have to know, you have to do everything.
Thank you for the very insightful answer. Next is, throughout the 15 years you've been in the industry, what are your top 3 advice or tips that you wish someone told you when you first started in the industry back then?
Okay. First, must build up a good rapport. Okay, not only with the media, but also with contact with other PR practitioners in other company, in corporates. Okay, build up contact with them. Okay, and have to be committed, serious, and the most important thing is always ready and have to anticipate anything. In PR, sometimes our work not like others. You have a schedule. You know, you like sales. In sales they have KPI or target that they have to they have to reach, they have to in a day. But in PR, there's always ad hoc or short notice or last minute programs or events that we have to do. So must be ready on standby all the time.
Right, thank you, Ms. Mariati. And now let's move on to the next question, Ms. FARISYA.
Okay, so as we know that building relationship, being committed and serious, and always be prepared and anticipate anything are the 3 useful tips for those who want to join the PR industry. And here my question is, as we know that Mrs. Mariati graduated with a bachelor's degree of mass communication, majoring in public relations, did your education prepare you for working in PR, and how is that?
Okay, I would say those days, okay, when we study public relations, it's more on theory. Okay, it's more on theory. You have to read, you have to listen during during class, and there's a tutorial. It's more on theory, you know. But here, I believe now, I believe you guys have more, gain more experience and knowledge compared to us. But I still can say, okay, my education, okay, those days, yes, it helped me to prepare, you know, for me working in PR, even though at that time, I couldn't imagine what is, you know, PR work like, because it's more on theory. But I think I'm lucky because I did my industrial training in telecom, yeah, telecom Malaysia. So at that time, yeah, I know I can feel, and I have real experience the PR job in telecom. That's where I know, I learn, and I experience myself. It's very different when you just attend class and just read all the theories. It's different. But yes, it helped me, you know, to where I am now.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Mariati, for the insightful explanation. And maybe we can move on to the next question.
Okay, hi, Mrs. Mariati. It's Najwa again. So I'll
Yes.
be asking the next 2 questions. So the next question sounds like, since we are currently living in an era where technology has a huge influence in our daily lives, like it affects the way we communicate with other individuals, it eases the learning process between educators and students, especially during the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic and many more. So our question is, how does technology affect your daily work? And do you think social media such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and many more, it plays a crucial role for a PR professionals? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This technology, yeah, it's really, you know, how it affect, you know, our daily work. Those days when I started my career in Bernama, at that time, the technology is way behind compared to compared to today. Okay, so there's no WhatsApp, nothing, there's no social media, nothing. So when you go back, when I go back, okay, I don't have to watch all the time, you know, the phone to check any message. Boss also, they will have to wait, or even, or if it's really urgent, they will call. But now with this, you know, this technology era, it looks like actually we are working around the clock, even though after we came back, after office, you know, at home, before sleep, after solat, the first thing that we always will check is our phone. So it's really, and because we don't want to miss, call or message or important message from the boss. So it's really different from those days. And this technology also, actually I would say it make extra work actually for people like us, in PR practitioners, because we always here in corporate strategy, we also manage or monitor bernama social media platforms. So yeah, it's round the clock. We have to see the content. We want to see whether the posting is correct or not, or damaging or not, or whatnot. So yeah, even during weekend and holidays, also is still a working day for us.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Mariati. I can totally relate to how after waking up, we have to immediately check our phone in case of receiving messages concerning our work or our assignments and so on. Okay, so that leads us to our next question. So organization may face disruptive and unexpected events that may harm the organization itself or their stakeholders. So our question is, during this critical time, how do you and your team manage crisis communication in your organization? Thank you.
Yeah, okay, all right. I like this question actually, because I can compare, how we manage crisis communications in Bernama and also when I was in Post Malaysia. So okay, in Bernama, okay, how we manage crisis. Okay, we have a crisis management team. So whenever we have crisis, okay, we have to anticipate any crisis, plan ahead what to do. We know who will be the spokesperson, to talk to the press or to handle the media. So we have a crisis team. We have to be transparent, respond quickly. So all this actually I learned when I was in Post Malaysia. When I was in Post Malaysia, the crisis was very bad, because Post Malaysia, as you know, is a postal company, and sometimes they've been bombarded with with the parcels, late parcels, and everything about the stamps, rate and everything. So in Post Malaysia, we have a dedicated team who handles crisis management from the top, who manage and lead. So same goes to Bernama. So it's just that in Bernama, we are national news agency. So the crisis, I would say not so much compared to Post Malaysia, but it's just that we still have to be prepared. We have to anticipate crisis and plan ahead what to do.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Mariati. I agree that even in other fields or other industry, I think it's very important for them to plan ahead and to be transparent with the public in order to avoid them from coming up with their own conclusions, so that can worsen the crisis. Thank you so much, Mrs. Mariati. I'll be passing the interview session to AMMAR.
Ms. Mariati.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to ethics in PR. How do ethics play its role in PR, to your opinion?
Okay, ethics in PR is very important. Okay, to help gain trust of public and return employees that can lead to greater innovation in industry. So these ethics actually include honesty, responsibility, expertise, advocacy, independence, loyalty, fairness, integrity principles and everything. So everyone, not only PR practitioners, must have, you know, these ethics, but as PR practitioners, this is very important ethics that we must have in ourselves in order for us to be a good and respected PR practitioners.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess it is very much universal when it comes to ethics, right? All right, next. What is, in your opinion, the best model for PR practitioner in Malaysia should hold? It can be theory, it can be framework. Basically, the strategy for PR practitioners to use, the best one that you think they should use.
Okay. Actually, all that you mentioned very important. But the most important thing to me is the two-way symmetrical model, which is in okay, in public relations, we must have communications theory, persuasive, where you know two-way communication, where people can discuss, can argue, and then argue for the best, for benefit, can change opinion, make decision. So to me, that's the model, the theory that we should have. Even we practice here in Bernama. Okay, in Bernama we practice two-way communication. We allow, you know, people, we allow staff to talk, to highlight any issues, you know, for the management. And the most important thing is PR practitioners is we like and the stakeholders, and for internal between the management and the staff.
Fascinating. So basically, everybody needs to speak up, right? Okay. Now, one final question. What professional organization are you involved in? You know, organization like IPRM, PRSA, the like.
Okay, I used to be a member of IPRM when those days, when before I left Bernama for the first time. I used to be a member of that and quite active also. We have a group at that time, but after I left Bernama and I joined Post Malaysia, okay, in Post Malaysia, the work is very hectic, and I couldn't have time actually to join, you know, any organization like that. But until now, I didn't join the IPRM, but I do have, you know, people, I do have contact in other companies who work as, you know, who also as PR practitioners, where we always change knowledge, change experience, and whatnot. Yeah.
Very good. Well, I think that's it with from us, right? Yeah.
Anything else? So you all majoring in public relations, or
It is one of the subject for this semester.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so I think that's all for today's informative session. Thank you so much, Mrs. Mariati, for being our respective guest into this session. We learned so much from you, especially regarding public relations. And I believe that everyone here could gain more knowledge and insights into the life of being a public relations practitioner. Do anyone has anything to add?
Miss Mariati,
Yes.
before we end the session, could we all have a photo session together?
Yes, sure.
Sure, can anyone like Najwa maybe can record it or screenshot this?
Sure, I can. Okay, I'll count it. Okay, in the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one.
Another one. Okay.
One. Maybe you can pose if you want. Okay, one. Oh, wait. I can't see Mrs. Mariati on the
Right.
screen. Okay. All right.
Oops.
Okay. One, two, three. Okay, thank you so much. All right, our photo session is done. Thank you so much, Mrs. Mariati.
Alright.
We
Thank you.
apologize for
All the
taking
best.
we
Yeah,
apologize for
okay.
taking some of your time.
Right. All the best. Take care.
Miss Mariati.
Safe.
Okay.
I think you can repeat the question.
Yes. Say again.
Were you afraid when when you were at your final year, about to enter this working world and all?
Yes. Of course. Yeah. Because so afraid. Because we don't know. What is the world outside there. And so afraid. I just can say that so worried, not only me but my parents, and even among friends also, we keep on checking. Yeah.
Any advice, how you guys face it?
How
did you guys face it, when that fear, how did you guys handle it? How
And
did you handle that fear?
oh, okay,
Oh.
how do I handle that fear? Okay, how do I have support, from family. It's very important. Also friends. Okay. My best friends, one of my best friends is NAJEEHA's mom. And we still keep in touch until now. And yeah, that's how I handle, my fear. I always okay, this is my advice to you all. Okay, always be positive. Okay, if you have any problem, even at work or during study, you must always think, okay, maybe that's the God's plan, and there must be a solution. And always think positive. That is very important, that you should do, and you should have faith. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Mariati.
Yeah. Welcome. Thank you. I wish any other question.
I think there's none for now.
Okay, so maybe I shouldn't ask it, but I'm just curious. Okay, what's your stand on Bermana? That satirical Twitter page.
Okay. Actually, it was created, by someone. Okay, you know about it. The Bermana, they use Bernama's logo, right? Bernama's branding. Okay, and it happened few times. Even though we reported to the MCMC, shut it down. They shut it down, the page, but suddenly the page up, again. Okay, it's really damaging our Bernama's brand. And we are very careful actually with the Bernama's brand. People will make use, or abusely use Bernama's brand. Bernama is National News Agency, and we are the only one news agency, and it's very damaging. It's very serious when we found out, there's someone who used Bernama's logo and created a page named Bermana with the false fake news. Yeah. We reported to we made a few police report also, and MCMC is monitoring. Even we also have a social media team who monitor, the page, if there's any other page, with fake news using Bernama logo.
All right, that's all for me. Thank you, Miss. It's been very, very enlightening.
All right, so I wish you all the best. Okay, take care, stay safe, right? And hope to see you guys again. Maybe one of you or you guys you come and join Bernama one day. I don't know. Welcome.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mrs.
Thank
Mariati.
you.
Okay.
Welcome. Okay, I will leave now. Right.
Okay.
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 Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Welcome.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.